Every tactic in this video is going to look different on the surface. A fake QR code is not a deepfake video call. A tech support scam is not a fake LinkedIn recruiter. But underneath all 16 of them, there are only 6 psychological triggers actually doing the work. The same 6 a psychologist named Robert Cialdini documented decades before any of this was digital. Reciprocity, commitment, social proof, liking, authority, and scarcity. Every tactic in this video is one of those 6, wearing a different costume. We're mapping all of them, 7 levels, from a stranger emailing a million people at once to an attack that doesn't need a human attacker at all anymore. Real cases, real numbers, no invented scenarios, because the actual ones are already stranger than anything scripted. General phishing is the original version. A mass, impersonal email made to look official enough that a small percentage of a huge list clicks the link or types in a password. It almost always leans on scarcity. The fear that you're about to lose access to something, your account will be suspended, your package is stuck, act in the next 24 hours or else. Mass smishing is the same email sent as a text message instead, and it actually performs better. Smishing click rates run dramatically higher than email phishing. And then there's quishing, a malicious QR code standing in for the link, printed on a fake parking ticket, taped over a restaurant's real menu code, or sitting inside an email that sails past your spam filter completely, because the code initially points somewhere harmless. Only after it clears every scanner does the attacker swap what it points to. Some of these codes get stuck directly over a real one, on a parking meter or a restaurant table tent, so scanning what looks exactly like the legitimate code sends you somewhere else entirely. Quishing spiked 146% in just the first 3 months of 2026. Casting a wide net gets you volume. It doesn't get you anyone who bothers to actually check who they're talking to. That's the gap the next level fills. Spear phishing takes a generic message and personalizes it with details that make it feel like it could only have been written for you specifically. Whaling aims that same personalization straight at executives because one CEO's inbox can be worth more than 1,000 regular ones combined. And a newer version has been quietly running on LinkedIn. A fabricated recruiter using a real, reputable company's name spends days or weeks building a relationship with a target before ever asking for anything. Friendly messages, real-sounding interview questions, genuine feeling enthusiasm. Then, right on schedule, comes the ask. Complete a short technical assessment as the final step. The interview questions feel real. The praise feels earned. The assessment is a malware-laced test environment, and by the time it arrives, the target has spent 2 weeks feeling good about a company that was never actually hiring for anything at all. This works because it stacks 2 levers at once: authority, a real company's name lending it legitimacy, and liking, a relationship that felt genuine because the target was allowed to feel special for a few days first. Personalization makes the bait better. It doesn't remove the one weakness every written message shares. A target with a spare minute can reread it, get suspicious, and check. So the next tier stops giving them that minute. Vishing is a phone call impersonating your bank, your IT help desk, or a government office, leaning hard on authority. The assumption that whoever called you must be who they say they are, combined with urgency that doesn't let you hang up and verify. Picture the version that actually works. The number on your screen genuinely shows your bank's real customer service line because the caller ID itself has been spoofed. A calm voice tells you there's suspicious activity on your account right now, walks you through verifying your identity, and by the time you've read back a one-time code that just landed by text, they're already inside the account. Angler phishing works the social layer instead. A scammer builds a fake customer support account on social media, copying a real company's name and logo, then watches that company's public comments for someone already venting about a bad experience. The scammer slides into their messages posing as the real support team. This one leans on social proof. The whole interaction is happening in public. Other real customers are visibly getting help from the real account nearby, so the fake one borrows credibility just by standing next to it. And fake support chat scams have gotten harder to spot for a simpler reason. Scammers now exploit the same legitimate chat software tens of thousands of real companies actually use, And AI has erased the broken English that used to be the easiest tell. Real-time pressure beats a written message every time, but it still has to get past whatever security software is sitting on the target's own device: spam filters, antivirus, browser warnings. So the next tier stops trying to sneak past those tools and gets the target to switch them off personally with their own hands. It's called ClickFix. A fake CAPTCHA check, a fake browser error, a fake "your video call won't load" message pops up, and before you've even read the instructions, JavaScript on the page has already copied a malicious command to your clipboard. The instructions tell you to open the Windows Run box or the Mac terminal, paste, and hit Enter to fix the problem. There's no file for antivirus to catch because you're the one running it. This leans on commitment and consistency. Once you've started following a set of fix-it steps, most people finish the sequence rather than stop halfway through and question it. Per Microsoft's own tracking, ClickFix accounted for 47% of the initial access attacks it saw in 2025, and by 2026, it spawned variants. One that deliberately crashes your browser first, then offers the fix. One that hides in the Windows File Explorer address bar instead of the Run box, and one that abuses a real account permission screen to hijack your login directly. Getting someone to run the command themselves solves the antivirus problem completely. But it still only buys the attacker one decision from one person, one time. The next tier stops asking for a single decision and starts spending real time on something that pays off over weeks. Pretexting is the foundation. A fabricated identity, an auditor, a new hire, a vendor, convincing enough to justify a request for access, often stretched across several contacts instead of one. Quid pro quo flips the order. The attacker offers something first, usually fake IT support fixing a problem that never existed, and only after they've helped do they ask for a password or a remote access code in return. This one is reciprocity in its purest form. We're wired to feel like we owe someone back after they've done us a favor, even a fake one. One documented version of this ran for at least 5 years out of call centers overseas, charging Western consumers real money, sometimes hundreds of dollars a call, for fixes to problems that were invented from the very first ring. And romance scams, sometimes called pig butchering, take the long con to its natural extreme. A fabricated relationship built over weeks or months, stacking liking and commitment together until the eventual request, "Invest in this crypto platform," barely registers as a decision at all. It just feels like the next step in a relationship that already feels real. It typically starts small. A wrong number text that turns into friendly conversation, then weeks of daily messages, long before money ever comes up at all. By the time the investment opportunity gets mentioned, the relationship already feels too real to question. Reported losses in the United States hit $1.14 billion in a single year, according to the FTC, the highest of any imposter scam category tracked, and industry researchers estimate the real global total sits far higher, in the tens of billions, though that broader number comes from private industry tracking rather than a government source. A months-long con can be devastating, but it only ever works on one victim at a time, no matter how much it eventually extracts. The next tier stops targeting individuals entirely and starts exploiting the trust between organizations instead. Business email compromise impersonates an executive's email to redirect a real transaction. And it's the same authority lever from level 2, just weaponized against an entire company's finance department instead of one target's inbox. The average loss per incident now sits somewhere around $150,000. And a majority of these attacks now actually target people outside finance and the executive suite entirely: operations staff, HR, procurement, because those roles get watched less closely. The median business takes nearly 13 days just to notice a compromise has even happened, time the attacker spends quietly moving money through multiple accounts before anyone starts asking questions. Once it's finally caught, fewer than 1 in 4 of those wire transfers ever actually gets recovered. Vendor email compromise is the more damaging cousin. Instead of impersonating your own CEO, the attacker impersonates a supplier you already pay on a regular basis, so a fraudulent invoice looks completely routine. The case that still gets cited everywhere. A scammer sent Google and Facebook a series of invoices impersonating a hardware supplier both companies genuinely used, and collectively walked away with more than $100 million before anyone caught it. Every tactic up to this point, however patient, however well-researched, still needed a human attacker actually doing the work, writing the email, making the call, building the relationship day by day. The next shift removes that requirement completely. In January of 2024, a finance employee at the engineering firm Arup, based in Hong Kong, joined a video call he'd been invited to by email. On the call were several of his colleagues, including the company's chief financial officer. He recognized every face. He recognized every voice. Every single person on that call except him was an AI-generated deepfake. By the end of the day, 15 separate transfers had gone out, totaling $25,600,000 before anyone realized what had actually happened. A 2026 survey of enterprise security teams found 41% had already dealt with a deepfake combined with social engineering on an audio call and 35% on a video call. It's not limited to video calls either. Researchers testing fully AI automated spear phishing found it achieves roughly a 54% click-through rate, statistically matching a human expert social engineer while cutting the cost of running a targeted campaign by more than 95%. The same research found the automated system correctly profiled its targets using nothing but information already public 88% of the time without a human ever doing the research. And the long con from level 5 is getting automated too. Criminal operations are now reportedly using autonomous AI agents to run the relationship side of romance scams directly. Agents capable of maintaining thousands of separate, ongoing, personalized conversations at once, the exact same mechanism as level 5, just no longer bottlenecked by needing a human being to type each message. So here's the map, laid all the way out. Level 1 leaned on scarcity. Level 2 stacked authority with liking. Level 3 used authority again, plus social proof. Level 4 ran on commitment and consistency. Level 5 used reciprocity, then liking and commitment together. Level 6 weaponized authority a second time, this time against a whole company instead of one person. All 6 levers, present in every level of this video, because none of that ever actually changed. What changed in this last level is that the thing doing the manipulating doesn't have to be a person anymore. If there's one level you want a full deep dive on, the AI automated version or the deepfake video calls, drop it in the comments, because that's exactly how the next video on this channel gets picked. Subscribe if you want the next map built out just like this.